Hello from Volcano TV. This is King Cool. Welcome to the Toast Reviews. For those of you who don't know how this works, I watch a movie, I put some in the toaster, and I talk about it before my toast is done. And today, we're at the final episode of Dueling Movies Month. And, movies that came out around the same time are pitted against one another to see which one was actually better. We had some really good choices. I could have done Paranorman and Frankenweenie. I could have done Alexander and Troy. But at the end of the day, I decided for the final episode, I decided to pick Dantes Peak and Volcano. So, at the end of the show, we have eggs. Right there. That I'm going to start boiling once I start. Because I want to make egg salad. And they're my eggs, and I'll make egg salad if I want to. Here we go. Not exactly as dramatic of a start as it could be. Alright, we'll start with Dante's Peak. Like, there's not going to be as clear a delineation this time as far as what to do. So, Dante's Peak. Pierce Brosnan is handsome geologist, and he gets sent to Dante's Peak, and they're like, hey, we got some weird ratings on this thing. Hey, this thing might blow up. And here's a scene you might have seen in, let's say, a little independent movie you might have heard it called Jaws. So please put your hands together and welcome the inanimate players. Oops, that's the zoom. Come on, there we go. Okay, I'm messing with the focus with the f-stop, so there's a wider focal range. It should be this time. I talked with one of my guys who knows photography better than me. I have to like reach my arms way out though to get it out. Don't you see? This thing is heating up. Something caused these things to heat up and I don't know what it is. It could be the volcano. Oh gosh, we gotta go do something. Ah. Town meeting is called. Bang bang bang. And don't you see? This is why this thing is heating up. Man, is the guy in charge somehow, even though Princess Candy's character was the mayor. Really? Yeah, someone's sitting on top of her for some reason. Okay, who played her? It was Linda Hamilton. Oh, that's good. So, wait. Look, we got like tourism coming here to see the lava. We got all this stuff. We cannot possibly jeopardize this for some 2% chance. Get on my face. Oh. And his boss is like, hey, you're gonna not do that just because you got a hunch, even though you're right because Pierce Brosnan and you're gonna whatever. Okay, you've seen that. Blah blah blah. But here's the thing about Dante's Peak. Except for a little bit at the very beginning, where two skin dippers get killed in a little lake that's got scalding hot because it's got lava in it. I need to turn the vent on. Hang on, because hopefully you can still hear me. No, just kidding. You don't see lava in this movie for a while, and some of the drama, like it's like 25 minutes in, and that's about when that scene comes in, and they're like, we gotta go. There's no explosion volcano here, and it's like, I know there is, because your movie's called Dante's Peak, and freaking, you wouldn't make this movie unless there's gonna be some freaking lava. So, and part of the drama is like, oh, they get stuck up at the top of Dante's Peak with a robot that does something stupid, and then they have to save the guy in a helicopter, blah blah. And then finally, things start to actually go to crap, and there's a real volcano. Things finally start to go, and certain characters make some pretty dumb decisions, I suppose, in order to raise the tension. Linda Hamilton's two kids, when their grandma says she's not going to go anywhere, they drive their car up the mountain to try to get her, and they're not even old enough to drive. And I'm like, I'm glad your kids are like brave and they're doing something noble, but Jesus, guys, come on, Because they also couldn't like reach her on the telephone because she stopped picking up the phone, which is like, yeah, stupid idea, but whatever. But in general, this one's pretty good. There's one scene towards the end where they see sort of like black hot lava Like, can we drive over this? It's like, no, you can't drive over it. That's like 700 degrees. It's gonna pop your tires and, oh, okay. He got over it. Okay, fine. What the hell do I know? Sure. Fine. Okay, and the car still runs? Okay, sure, yeah, okay, fine, yeah. Don't believe it for a second, but fine, whatever. Dantes Peak is just sort of okay. It's not really special in any, it's just whatever. Oh, I'm still blurry. God, I wish the autofocus didn't make so much noise. Oh, it's also kind of dark. But that's because again, I'm messing with the light settings. See, I mean, Dantes Peak is fine, Reasonably exciting, pretty silly setup, but it's okay. Now let us talk about Volcano. Now, Volcano, they get to the volcano lava stuff right friggin' away. Like, they're like 1 second in, it might as well be like going down the street, lava, lava, lava. But I think even with the sort of goofiness of some of the beginning, whatever really minor realism they might have cultivated at the beginning, really goes out the window when there's a guy who crawls out of this tunnel and he's like, oh man, we all got scalded, he's burned. And he tips his head to the side, like he's like this. He tips his head to the side, and you see this part of his face is all burned up like Harvey Dent. And it's like, all his hair is gone, and it's like, okay, it's good thing he got burned just that one side, eh? And, okay, here's the thing about Dantes Peak. Dantes Peak was also made in 1997, but Dantes Peak isn't dated by anything that's inside it. Dantes Peak, yeah, I mean, it's like, why don't they just call them on a cell phone? Why don't they use the internet to try to announce this since they're going to the main high school or something? It's like, well, yeah, that's all problems with it just being shot when it was. But this movie looks like it's just trying to be dated. Turn that down to a simmer. Oh no, if we put pressure on this thing, it might erupt. But people have pagers, I mean, that's one thing. They make a joke about freaking Mark Furman, and, what else do they do? Like, it's just very incredibly 90s, including the sometimes really bad CGI. Like, Asylum level bad, in the sense that, like, occasionally the lava thing is flowing at a different frame rate, it looks like, than the rest of it. It's like, man, were these even convincing at the time? Like, I really sort of doubt it, but, just tons of CGI stuff. I got some silliness with, like, the families. The one guy is trying to save this guy's life, and he jumps into a thing of lava to throw him out of it, and then that guy actually melts like the T-1000. Now, at least that lava's hot enough to do that, that's for damn sure, but like, I mean, you won't really melt it into lava, because lava's so incredibly dense, you float on top of it, but, I mean, that's just me. I like Tommy Lee Jones in this movie is basically being like, we're gonna fix this thing, do this. And like, yeah, this is a big deal, but I can handle it, until there's one moment of doubt, and they're like, wait, I can try to do this and this. It's very silly. At least I'm not gonna say that Dantes Peak is boring. It's not really. It's just slow. And this one, I'm not even going to say this one is exciting, because it's also not really exciting, because it's just exhausting, because it's just, bang, bang, zing, just constant. I swear to God, sometimes when they have, like, explosions and then the fire gets put out, it's just the film running in reverse. It's just weird. What else? There's a little kid who was in the movie who was just clearly dubbed by, like, an adult woman, and it's so bad. It's like, oh man, like, this is sort of like an Emmerich style thing, like it's an Independence Day or whatever, with the colorful, kooky characters, and like obviously one of them has the boyfriend or fiance who doesn't understand. I think he's played by John Corbett, but he's like, what are you still doing here? My wife who's a doctor? Man, these people, come on, man. It's like, what is she gonna do? Like, leave? She's a freaking doctor. And that's like his only other scene. Is like that, and like a scene where he's like, hey man, I've invested in these apartment buildings that obviously get destroyed when they have to stop the flow of lava. It's like, come on. I probably should have started a timer when I put the lid on. I think that was like 13, I think 3 or 4 minutes ago. So we're not going to be going for 12 more minutes, but I need to know that so I know when the eggs are done. And there's also a thing where it's like, Tony Jones' daughter, keeps getting into trouble and stuff, and it's just like, we know she's going to save him. Even when he's trying to outrun a falling building, we know she's going to, like, if you thought that, Forrest Whitaker saving What's-Her-Face in Vantage Point was silly, this is him out chasing an entire collapsing building. And both of the movies are sort of interesting to see how we sort of viewed collapsing buildings without giant pillars of smoke in a pre-9/11 context. That's sort of interesting because a lot of them don't have... It's not so clearly trying to use the imagery of 9/11 because it didn't happen yet. So I was like, alright, that's a relief. But then also, like, his daughter, she's afraid of earthquakes. Great job living in California. And also, when they're driving onto the location, she doesn't have a seatbelt on. How can someone who's afraid of earthquakes not wear the seatbelt? That I don't get. Come on. I don't know. This one's just dated. It's just not that good. So I guess I'm gonna give the check mark to Dantes Peak. Not by much though. It's not like I'm ever gonna watch Dantes Peak again, or I thought it was thrilling or anything. But I thought it was marginally better. I mean, one of them is trying to be more goofy, and the other one's trying to be more goofy. I mean, okay, it's a volcano that erupts out of the floor of, the Los Angeles. So, yeah, I actually, it is very much like a one of these asylum-style disaster movies. It's roughly the same quality, except they have A-lister actors. And a script that occasionally is amusing, like when they're trying to evacuate the museums where things are getting burned up. They're like, man, these paintings are heavy. Well, that's because they represent our longing into something. They make jokes like that. It's like, that one's kind of funny, but yeah, okay, I'm giving the check mark to Dantes Peak, but there's nothing else to see here. So what will be the theme for next month? Well, you'll have to tune in to find out. Thank you all for watching. This is King Cool. Drive home safe. After the toast and after the crunch, there's the crust. I don't normally put crusts on very long episodes, but nevertheless, I wanted to put it here. If you read Roger Ebert's review, he mentions how he's like, Volcano was more expensive than Dantes Peak. And according to Wikipedia, no it wasn't. Dantes Peak cost like a scant $20 million more. It was like 90 to 110. Although he is right to say that Dantes Peak looks better, though I really don't think that was the problem. I think it was the scale of the ambition. And he also mentions, he's like, Volcano, Dantes Peak wasn't great, but it had, real characters, real this. And he says it also had a real mountain. It's like, actually, the mountain in Dantes Peak was created with CGI. It was just more convincing CGI than all the incredibly unconvincing CGI in Volcano. Oh, Roger Ebert, may you rest in peace. You weren't always right.